Taking it.
I'm sorry.
This is the one oh no, I'm on the wrong show. This is the XFL show. I am dirty.
You never
This
did.
is the one, the only, the A Train from In the Zone himself,
You see it. The A Train show's here.
Arlington Lane. What's up, brother?
I'm good, man.
We have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, and we are live, folks.
We are live.
Hey, before we get started, I got something to bitch about, man.
Go fart.
I got something to bitch
Because
about.
I got something to bitch about too.
So today,
Right.
before I came here to the studio,
Uh-huh.
our good buddy at XFL2K.com,
Correct.
Stefan,
Yep.
had posted a nice little thing about Charlie Ebersol.
Yes.
And I want to ask you good folks here that's watching the show tonight, would you really trust an Ebersol?
No.
Would you really trust him?
No.
And the reason why you wouldn't trust him is this. Charlie has now started to backtrack and trying to get himself out of the clear with these players. Now, it was said from Sports Illustrated, oh man, there's a lot of all the sports, like Sports Illustrated, ESPN, they're doing wonderful things on this covering on the alliance, seeing what happened.
Yep.
And the downfall of it.
Yep.
Sports Illustrated did one and said, well, you do know. This is what you have to understand. The Alliance of American Football was not really about the league itself. It was about
Correct.
a tech app.
Yep.
It was all about tech,
Yep.
about the innovations that they were going to try and put on for not just football, but for period. Like these new tech innovations, like
Right.
the chip in the football,
Yes.
the gambling app,
Yep.
the sky judges,
Yep.
all of those innovations, they were doing that. Almost seemed like for a stepping stone for the NFL to help them out. That's what it
Right.
seemed like. But here it is, Charlie Ebersol now is saying, as he, I have to pull up his story from XFL2K.com if you give me just a moment. Are we live on YouTube as well?
Yep.
Folks, you can go to YouTube and check out our show right now. And here it is. I'm pulling it up right now. It says Charlie Ebersol responds to AAF lawsuit and blames the players. He blames the players. All right.
Right now, hold on. How can you blame players?
Saying exactly this. He said his response document did not say what type of fraud or misrepresentation he's alleging about the players, that what acts they committed.
Mm-hmm.
But it says that the plaintiffs had material breaches of obligations and directly interfered with the defendant's performance of its obligations. Now, whatever the hell that means, you can tell me right now online. Hopefully my man John is watching so he can check that out. And
Let's hope.
And he could catch what's being said. And we'll repeat it just so that people get a chance to catch that. But you telling me after you had just gave up 8 weeks and dealt with 2 investors, one who's now going to jail. Yes, the very first investor, Reggie Fowler, is in jail for fraud. And they had to withdraw his money. His assets were frozen. And that's why a lot of the players' paychecks wasn't able to be given after week 1. So they went to Tom Dundon, who is the owner of the Carolina Hurricanes. And if you like to go to Top Golf, he is the CEO of Top Golf.
Right, yeah.
Now, if you like him, fine. Keep going to Top Golf. If you hate him, I dare you to go to Top Golf. That means you're going to be giving your money to Mr. Dundon.
I've never been to Top Golf.
Me neither. I have not.
Never have I been there.
I wanted to try it, but now after seeing this, it's like, you know what? The hell with you.
Right, exactly.
And he's talking about, Dundon said he wants his $70 million back. Give me my $70 million back.
Well, I mean, would you? Would you not want it back?
For what? You might as well take your losses. You're a billionaire.
Yeah.
Take your loss and keep it pushing.
But $70 million, I mean, hell, that ain't even, if the dude is a billionaire, that ain't even a tenth of his salary.
Exactly. Even if he was a multimillionaire, you know what I mean? Even with 9 figures.
Right, yeah,
$70 million is just a chunk of that. That's less than 15% of sorts. You know what I mean? So
right.
Take your $70 million loss and keep it pushing. What are you going, unless you're going to do something with that money? The assets, they were like under $50,000 or something that was left.
Right.
And the liquidation that the liabilities was over $40 million or something.
Right.
Like that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Almost $50 million. So I'm like, at this point, man, just take your L's and keep it pushing, man.
Take the loss and get over it. I agree. But you're right. I wouldn't trust Ebersol if you paid me to trust
exactly.
Ebersol.
And that's why I am so proud that Vince McMahon did not go back to Dick Ebersol or even Charlie, or even allow Charlie to even get the XFL. Because Charlie actually back 2 years ago wanted the XFL. He wanted the trademark names and all that, the teams, and they was going to have 16 teams in this league.
Right.
Nope, wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So grateful for that. And then you see what Vince McMahon has put into. He's put almost $300 million of his own money into it.
Exactly.
And that's the key thing of why I believe this league is going to work, is that this is his money. This is nobody else is involved with this.
Right.
So he's going to be do or die with this.
And as my great business partner would say, don't get involved with somebody you can't trust.
Exactly. And that's what the biggest issue with Charlie Ebersol was. He thought that these men that he came across was trustworthy, and thinking that this league was just going to work off of behalf of them. Now, he's going to put something in it, but it wasn't going to be what it is now.
Right, exactly.
And it says for my man Al, and I need to go put this on Twitter, as a matter of fact. I need to go ahead and do that. That the XFL could be the NBA Summer League. No. The reason why I say that is this. If you do that, then it's like you cheapen what the XFL is supposed to be about anyway.
Right, exactly.
The XFL is supposed to be different from what the NFL is, because of some of the rules that are being implemented. The NBA Summer League plays the exact same rules, or just about. I think the only difference is they kind of play. Do they play 10-minute quarters? I think they play 10 or 12-minute quarters. But my thing is, they play the same rules. NBA Summer League game.
It's 10.
It's 10?
Yeah, it's 10, and then in the pros, it's 12.
I know in college it's 20-minute halves now.
Right.
They have implemented 10-minute quarters with the women.
Yeah, it's the same in the it's the same.
You think it's the same?
Yeah.
I can't remember, man. And so at this point now, the rules are the same.
Right. Exactly.
Same thing with the XFL. The rules are the same, but they have more offensive implemented things now.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
You got the 1-pointer, 2-pointer, 3-pointer, extra points. You got the crazy overtime. That's going to be happening. And the good thing about it is the Spring League at the end of the month.
Yep.
They're going to be with the ESPN and Fox.
Yes.
They're going to be down there with them. And so, now you get to see what all the rules are about. The broadcast teams get to see what it's all about. And me personally, I want to see, as the article stated, there was an article out there by there's an article by Oliver Luck talking about what the league is. That's funny that you say that, from the Associated Press. Yeah. XFL plans for an upcoming season starting to take shape. This is from the AP, the Associated Press. Okay. Long Beach, California. Oliver Luck's first year as the XFL commissioner has mostly been confined to the office and getting the league's framework set up. The next couple of months are what Luck refers to as the fun part of preparing for next year's return. Quote, Oliver Luck says, "We are still a long way away from a football game, but we are starting to see more of what we are trying to do," Luck said. The league will begin the play week after Super Bowl 54 and is in the middle of conducting summer showcases, which we're going to talk about the Tampa showcase, but the only one the only one that really matters is the one that's coming up on the 13th, that the XFL STL will be there. The part of One Universal Production, and the part A-Train. Of the In the Zone, I'll be there as well. Will be the A-Train, is in the middle of conducting summer showcases in 8 cities where it will have teams. The showcases are similar to pro days on college campuses and the NFL scouting combine as coaches to get to work with the prospects. So we already know the cities that have already had them: LA, New York, Washington, Seattle, Houston, Dallas, and Tampa. Correct. Now, Tampa had the most players so far, with 150 players. Yeah, they did. That were there. And some crazy names came out of this mix too, man. And you posted, or was it you or Will posted? It was Will that did. Did you see who was there? Man. You're excited. Tell me why go ahead and tell us who it is, because you're excited by it. One of them was Matt Jones, the running back out of Florida, and there was another name. It was the quarterback. Yeah, it was. Ryan Mallett.
Yeah.
Ryan Mallett showed up.
Why are you so excited about Ryan Mallett?
Well, the reason why I'm so excited about Ryan Mallett, man, because
please explain.
If Johnny Manziel doesn't show up, that's going to be the star of the XFL.
All right. Okay. Okay.
You got to understand you got to understand, man, because I'm looking at it from this standpoint.
Explain.
Johnny and Oliver Luck has stated in lots of interviews that he's unsure of how Johnny is going to be.
Right.
If he's going to even be in the league or not.
Right.
So even if that's said, you start building up a guy like Ryan Mallett.
Okay. So before you go on, so it says some of the players were not invited to the showcase because Luck said they are already had a large number of film. Many have wondered if the 2012 Heisman Trophy winner Johnny Manziel is on the league's radar. What Luck says, but says it remains to be seen. Manziel played 2 games in the AFL before the league folded.
He did. But here's the thing. If Johnny does get into the league, he is the star. And if he doesn't get into the league, which it'd be dumb if he doesn't. But my thing is, if he's not looked at, then you got Ryan Mallett. Okay. Ryan Mallett has played under Tom Brady. Okay.
And Belichick.
Exactly. So he got some experience, maybe not played a lot of games, but my thing is, why not build up a star around Ryan Mallett?
Okay, I see your point. Okay.
All right. And
I see your point.
At least you're going to have at least 1, 2, maybe 3 main quarterbacks that's going to have to be looked at as top guys.
Correct.
You're going to have some, and I'm sorry I have to put it in this equivalence, like Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. You're going to have Russell Wilson, like 3 guys that's going to be leaders of the XFL. You got to have that. And you're going to have Akeem Nicks, who's already looked at. And possibly a top wide receiver in the XFL.
Right.
You know what I mean? So those are going to be some of those things that, folks are going to look at come October when it comes to this draft.
Well, and it's been speculated as long as Geno Smith doesn't get picked up, that he's already automatically got an invitation.
Right.
To play in the XFL. Now, let's go back some way.
We'll go back.
Okay, so now let's say that the XFL was around in 98. Do you remember that 98 draft? Do you remember the players that came out of that 98 draft?
That was Peyton Manning.
Okay. That was number 2.
Ryan Leaf.
Number 1. Now, can you imagine Ryan Leaf in the XFL?
Yes. I could.
Right?
Yeah. Especially if he was in the league back in 01.
Okay, and here somebody says Mark Sanchez.
Butt fumble. You want Butt Fumble to be? That's literally had become his name, man.
That's it. That's all.
Because he made one of the most illest, dumbest plays in NFL history. It is known as the Butt Fumble. And Mark Sanchez, if he does get looked at, I just want to make sure it's not for gimmicks. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Now, we do have a special guest in the show in the studio tonight. No.
Oh,
we do.
Yeah, you do.
We do.
I'm talking about, see, that's what I forgot to tell you. Our special guest was the one able to do it, the one that I had booked.
Oh, the Tampa guy?
Yeah, he
that's
wasn't
okay.
able to do it. Yeah, it was like, we'll get him next time.
Yeah, we'll get him next time, and we'll talk, we'll get John,
and
we'll say, hey, your showcase sucked compared to St. Louis's showcase. Because, St. Louis, Dirty keeps saying it.
Hey!
Dirty is going, the XFL St. Louis is going 10-0, and we're going 12-0, and we're going to be the first champs to win the XFL Bowl. Well, the second.
And people will call it a fix, right? You do know that, right?
That's if fine. That happens. Call it a fix. Dirty's calling it. Dirty's never wrong.
Fix. Okay.
But we have a special guest. I'm not going to put her on the camera. Is, my great co-host, Linda Brown, best-selling author.
Best-selling author.
Make sure you go to her Amazon page. Make sure you go to OneNationNetworkTV.com. And you can find all of her books. Yeah. Really great books. Even with pot stocks going, go there. She's got a pot stock book, which is really great. And I've actually invested on some of them, and I'm actually making some money off of them. So go there. Her favorite player.
Oh, it's T.O.?
No, not T.O. C.K. See?
That's right. You
see how excited she got?
You got right. Colin Kaepernick all day, every day, right?
Cap.
But
here, let me turn her up a little.
Come on. Yeah, you can get the mic.
Yeah, go on.
Hey, guys.
There's Linda.
Yeah.
Now, I could see Cap playing in this league, not for the $20 million that he wants.
But he's not going to play, period.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
That's the thing.
He doesn't need to.
And Linda will explain why, because a lot of people have said they want Colin Kaepernick in the XFL. And Linda will explain.
I think he has actually found a new calling, which is social justice.
Yeah.
And I mean, what he just did with the Bessie Ross flag and the Nike shoes, which got all the folks all upset.
Yep.
I stand with Cap. Hello.
So there you go. So that's why. And me and Linda talked about it because, me and Linda talk all the time.
Yeah.
And, she's a big fan of the XFL, and we talked about it. And that was one of the things is we were talking about Cap playing. And she's like, I don't think he's going to. And she said it just for that reason there.
It is. It's exactly for that reason.
Right.
It's because of the social justice.
Yes.
If you want to call him an SJW, fine. I don't care. But my thing is this. That's what he's going to focus on.
Right, exactly.
And he's already and people have known the minute that those stuff kept happening. That made him say, you know what? Even though I'm in football shape, I don't want to play football.
Right.
Or I'm not going to play football. He doesn't want to play because he does want to play.
Right, he does.
But he's not going to.
But I mean,
he's sacrificing it.
A guy like Cap in this league would be phenomenal.
Right, exactly. We agree with that.
We agree with that.
We agree with that, Al. He's social justice.
Yeah, and listen. And we need him for that. Right, and I've said it over and over again that I respect Kaepernick for what he does. Now, Arlington, me and you watch football, so we know about Kaepernick.
Yeah, I would say this, Linda. I'm gonna tell you this flat out. I know you love Cap.
I'm gonna turn it up because I know she's gonna chime in.
Yeah.
When he was in the league,
right.
I couldn't stand him. Okay.
Why?
Now, because he was real brash when he was in the league, But I think if I remember closely at the time, he was trying to prove himself.
Okay.
But the way he was proving himself, it was just a little too brash. And it's like, who are you? We don't even know who you really are.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? Coming up with the,
with the guns.
With the guns.
But
I got
he did
the guns.
have some guns, though.
Yes, true. Yes. But at the same time, I was not a fan of his.
Did you think it was a good player?
Yeah, see, thank you. Finally tell
I hear this all the time.
Finally tell
He really wasn't the best player.
I'm gonna put it like this. He was different. He was a different quarterback, but as a gunslinger, he wasn't that guy.
Really? So he wasn't like a Tony Banks? Like we had here in St. Louis back in the day.
He was a little bit of
Tony, man. Yeah.
And Tony Banks was the bomb. Y'all know
Oh my God. I love Tony, man. Don't do this.
I think they're just hating, ladies.
Tony. I've talked to Tony Banks. We did on the In the Zone show.
Okay.
We talked with Tony Banks like very first season of our show.
Right. Yeah.
That's what we talked to because we were talking about the Robert Griffith III stuff.
Right.
But my thing was at the time, Tony would be best in here at XFL.
Oh, 100%.
The 96 Tony would be good for the XFL.
Yes, 100% agree.
Okay.
He wouldn't in the NFL. No, it's not for you, dude. But he would be labeled as a top quarterback in the XFL.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it was just too much for him. The young guy.
Yeah.
And I had an argument. This is good for the listeners. I had an argument about the college kids. They was talking about, XFL's talking about bringing in high school kids.
Oh.
Yeah. That or even freshmen and sophomores in college jump into the XFL.
Right. Yeah.
And it was like, well, why would you put a kid 18 years old and he's going against 26, 27, 28-year-old guys? I was like, well, you got to understand, nowadays, these 17 and 18-year-olds, they 6'4", 6'5", 260, 270, 280 pounds, and they could do just as much damage as the 28-year-olds.
Prime example, my boy, love him. Right there, he plays that outside linebacker for the Texans.
Oh,
my boy Clowney.
I
mean, I love that kid. Could have literally went right from high school
to the pros.
He was that damn good.
But his prop, and I see to his point, my friend's point was that the problem was they weren't mature. Oh, see, Wyatt gets a pass. He likes to talk about Kansas City all the time.
All right.
So he gets a pass. What's up, Wyatt? You already know, man. You come on the show. I give you a pass. You're the only person that can talk about the Chiefs and get away with it.
Unlike that one clown.
Who is that?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I don't know who that is.
Right.
But my thing is this.
I agree with you. I think I do. And me and Linda have talked about this. We've had the basketball conversation about the young kids coming right out of college or right out of high school into the pros. I mean, Clowney could have done it, but the maturity level. wouldn't have been there.
And a lot of the kids back in the pros.
Yes. Right.
Back when they jumped from high school to the pros wasn't ready. You know what I mean?
Right.
For the maturity level, because there's T-Mac is a good example.
Game.
T-Mac is I get it, yeah.
Yeah.
At the same time, you have to understand is that
that was one guy we forgot, Linda T-Mac.
Yeah.
He went right from high school Tracy
went
McGrady.
from high school to the pros.
Oh, right.
He went right from high school to pros.
But the thing, what he said was when he was 18, he couldn't do a lot. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah,
and even
the
kids now, I get it. You getting $100,000. He's getting millions of dollars.
Right.
All he can do is sit in his room, sit in a hotel room or an apartment playing video games.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Couldn't go out at night. If they did, he couldn't do anything.
Right, yeah. But it didn't matter. They were still giving him stuff, whatever, because of, it's Tracy McGrady.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I
mean, but there is a fine line that's being drawn, you know, between what the NCAA is doing and what the XFL wants to do. Now, I think the biggest name that they was throwing out at the time was Lawrence from Clemson.
Yes.
He had just won the national championship, starting quarterback. They was like, well, hell, let's go ahead and put him in the XFL now. You know, he can get a 6-figure contract, and because they would, he would put him up tier 2, maybe tier 3 quarterbacks.
Right. Yeah.
For that matter, and they get $100,000.
Right.
So
that's
6 figures. Right. That's what LeVar Ball was trying to do with basketball, was pay them.
Right.
But
always had a problem with the NCAA. Right.
You know what? I like that. I do like that.
But look at
the last name.
Look at the trouble he's been in.
The last name, I can't even fool with that. And Maurice Clarett, if he had somebody to really talk to him and sit down with him, Maurice Clarett could have had a decent football career. You know what I mean?
100% agree with you.
And St. Mike Williams, man, it was like he would ghost.
Right. See, I think Collette, if he would have went to the Patriots,
you think it set him straight?
And we've talked about this off the air, and me and Linda's talked about this, and and you were the one that actually brought it to my attention about what Bill Belichick does for his rookies, makes them go out and get jobs and go, spend their time in the community.
Yep.
And he says, you have to have a job while you're a rookie and all that BS.
What?
Yeah, the reason is because what he did is he's teaching them, if you don't have a football career, what are you going to do afterwards?
Right.
It's a game plan.
He makes them go back to college after they come out early.
Okay.
So I think if he would have went to the Patriots, I think it would have straightened him out. You get whatever you want to say about the Patriots or whatever, that they're cheaters. Belichick and Kraft care about their players.
Exactly.
That they do.
As crazy as we talk bad about Bill Belichick and how much of a cheater that he is.
Because he is a cheater.
Have you seen the women that he's been with, man?
Yeah.
He's a dog. That's what he is. Ruff, ruff. But my thing is this. My thing is that Bill does care about his players. He wants the best for them.
Right.
Robert Kraft is one of the main people that said that they have to get the jobs. Bill's, just behind it.
Right.
But it's Kraft.
And Kraft pays for them to go back to college.
Right.
They don't even.
He wants them to get their education.
Yep.
Now, as we talk bad about Kraft, he really, like I said, he does care about the players, and that's what I'm looking at with the XFL here.
Yes.
They are pinpointing on the players. They want to make the best for the league, and so they want to make sure that they get the best opportunity. Granted, it's gonna be 460 players. I know for weeks I kept saying it was like 300.
Right. Yeah.
Gonna be some 380 players. I found out it's gonna be 52-man rosters on on these squads.
Yep.
So it's almost close to an NFL roster.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll have a team 9, and that team 9 is going to be just not a separate amount of players that just in case somebody gets hurt, they just insert them in wherever they need to go.
Right.
So whatever city they have to be in, they just insert them in. If they got to get a quarterback, they got to get a guard, they got to get a tackle, they go straight to that team. So they are caring about the players.
Right. So let's get to the Tampa.
Okay.
I
wish. Hey, Will, if you hear me, call in, baby.
Because I got one right here. This is Will posted this yesterday with the XFL Tampa Showcase now over. A St. Louis player with St. Louis ties.
Marcus Roberson.
Yes.
Yeah.
I liked him when he was with the Rams. He actually had a really good career. He played 25 games, 39 tackles, 1 interception, 7
you get cups of coffee. You know what I mean? Get cups of coffee while you're in the league, man.
Yeah.
You know? But that's why I feel like you got guys like Fred Davis, Akeem Nicks, guys that's played in the Alliance of American Football. Jalen Marshall was another name that was been in these showcases. And so now you get an opportunity. They get another chance. And I'm pretty sure that most of them AAF players that get into it, they're going to get into the XFL.
Right.
Exactly. I don't see no way around it. Okay.
Right.
And Jalen Marshall should be labeled as a top receiver when he gets into the XFL.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I agree with you on that.
Now, from a St. Louis standpoint, who will we mind seeing here? We mentioned guys like, and I hope we do see them when they come to St. Louis, for the showcase. Chris Gibbons. Remember him?
Oh, yeah.
Remember Chris Gibbons for the Rams?
Yep.
Zach Stacy.
Oh, wait. Who's this calling? Should we try it?
Who's that?
Oh, no, it's the back line. XFL. Oh, it's Will.
Get it to him.
All right, I gotta save Will's phone number.
Okay.
In my phone.
So, but
all right, Will, what's up, buddy?
How you doing, man?
Hey, you told me to call.
Yeah. Oh, wait, we got another call too. Wow. Hold on, Will.
Good. Stay right there.
All right,
caller, you're live. We got him.
Caller, you there?
Yes, this is Alistair from Springfield. How you doing?
What's up, Alistair?
What's up, Al?
Okay, so wait, we got two callers. We got Will, who is a contributor.
Let's introduce Will Freeman. Will Freeman contributes with the XFL STL. Does a great job.
Yep.
I will say, Will, I am very proud of what you've done so far with the XFL STL, man. That you come on board and you've provided a big boost to the page, man. So
yes, thank you so
much,
Thank you,
Will. Man, for real.
No problem, guys, and thanks for the opportunity.
There you go.
Yeah. Because I think my man Al, he appreciates you too. Yeah, he appreciates you too, man. That's why I'm very appreciative of you having, man. Go ahead, Al. What you guys say, man?
You want to talk about former Rams players, St. Louis? Bring back Brian Quick. Remember him?
Brian Quick.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm scared of that though, man. I'm scared of that.
He would be great in the XFL.
I'm scared of that one, man.
This whole gun that they're working you.
I'm scared of that.
Austin Davis, quarterback.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
He got a cup of coffee with the Rams
Davis,
too.
I forgot that guy's name from Oregon State. I'm not sure if he's still
Tavon
the
Austin?
Rams
You talking about Mannion?
right now.
You talking about Mannion?
Yeah,
Sean
Mannion.
Sean Mannion, the quarterback.
Yeah,
Mannion might be available.
Okay.
There might be some former Rams players, St. Louis that probably want to come back.
Well, that's
and
funny.
play in St. Louis again.
That's funny that you
Stacy.
asked that, Al, because we got our man Will, who seems to have his ear to the ground.
Yeah.
Will, what have you heard about any former Rams players being here on the 13th?
As far as like former Rams, I haven't heard anything of that yet because I do know that we're probably going to get some former AF players, so I'm hoping Zach Stacy is one of the invitees for St. Louis. But mostly, I just seen players that say, "Hey, I got an invite for this," and don't know if they got an act that they accepted it or not. Like I got that Mizzou linebacker a few weeks ago that I posted on the site.
Hear me now?
Yeah, hold on.
Hold on,
We
Al.
can hear you, Al.
Was he asking something? I could barely hear him through the phone.
Go ahead, Will. Go ahead.
And like I said, like I told Dirty, so far the only quarterback that I know that's confirmed is that former Nebraska quarterback Tommy Armstrong. But there's only been a few. Only the players' social media, either from Twitter, would actually. That's only how I know it so far.
Mm-hmm.
But probably next week we'll probably the XFL will probably say, "Hey, here's some people," like they usually do the day or two before the showcases.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you hear that, Al?
No, I didn't hear that.
So about a day or two before the showcases, the rosters are going to be. They'll probably be dropped there. So my birthday, I'll probably get the roster.
Oh, that's right. Happy birthday to you.
Next Thursday. It'll be next Thursday. No, it'll be next Thursday, 11th.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God.
So now, Al, you're in Springfield, so are you going to try to make it up to the showcase?
Or are you just going to find out via Facebook and Twitter?
Or are you going to find out by watching us?
I'm going to be in St. Louis on July 20th and 21st, primarily because I'm going to be seeing my mom over there, and I'm going to take her to see First Ring Fire that weekend. So, but we'll see what happens.
All right, man. Well, thank you.
Like you on you guys' show.
All right. Well, thank you for your support, man. We appreciate it.
Yes, and I'm probably going to have an article coming up for the next few weeks about the XFL too.
Thank you.
All right, that'll work. Thanks, man.
All right, take care.
Bye.
My man Al from Springfield, man. I love when he comes on.
Yeah, he does. You're right.
And so Will, what we've gotten so far is tell us a little bit about from the Tampa. There were some names that you also drawn out, also besides Ryan Mallett, and that was at the Tampa Showcase.
Yeah, like the running back that you mentioned, former Redskin Matt Jones and Gator. That was what I actually remember having him on my fantasy team, and then he just disappeared. Then John Turner, who's a guy we know in the DC area, because apparently the only big problem with him, like Jones has, like he's 6'2", he's one of those big speed power backs. The only big problem with him was ball control, so. Hopefully, that's one running back I wouldn't mind be on the XFL STL team, whatever the name is. But,
right, exactly.
He does remind me of Steven Jackson in a way. Just, I do miss that type of back on a football team. So, yeah, hold on here. Let me get the list here. I have it on here.
While he's getting the list, you are listening to the XFL STL live show, as you can find on One Universal Production on YouTube and
on Facebook. At XFL STL.
Hey, you go to Alliance XFL. You can check out and click the link for XFL STL Live.
Not just there. You can find it.
Here we go. Quarterback-wise, like you guys mentioned, Ryan Mallett.
Yes.
Former Michigan that transferred to Arkansas, former Patriots, then Texas. He got that one trouble with, if I remember, he missed a play and then he got cut by the Texans that one time.
Yeah.
Like, he's one of those guys. He's tall. He has arm strength, and I'm hoping he does get a league because I actually was hoping for the best for him. Another quarterback, another guy I mentioned was former University of Southern Florida quarterback B.J. Daniels. I definitely see him playing in this league, and he's played multiple positions in the. And yeah, but they asked him to play not only wide receiver but running back. So if you want, like how they're going to do those multiple forward passes rule, that's good. And him and whatever backup quarterback or whatever player, that's going to be some impressive creativity for whoever picks him up.
Now, Will, you posted on here that the two guys that were there was Matt Elam, the University of Florida safety, drafted in the first round in 2013 by the Ravens. As Arlington says, has a cup of coffee. He played with the Ravens from 13 to 16, and then he went to the CFL in 18. And then another guy that I loved that really, in my opinion, made an impact with that Colts team when they were really, really terrible, Antonio Morrison.
Right.
I mean, really, he was a bright spot
in a bad team.
On a bad team.
Oh boy,
yeah. But they were both there. And what did you hear about those guys?
As far as I know, they did well. It just, like you said, like when you see these names, when I first heard these names, I'm like, wait a minute, both these guys are not in the NFL right now?
Right, exactly.
Well, then I looked some research. Elam actually had not really, I would call bad trouble. From what I found, like there was some dispute with, I can't recall, it was either his girlfriend or someone's girlfriend with some type of property damage with an iPhone, and then that person didn't cooperate with the investigation, so that got thrown out. Then he joined, then how he's not in the league now, I still have no idea. Yeah, so. Right. It's weird, like when you see players that it's like, for example, you see these players, they train up and spend time in the practice squad, and then all of a sudden a new coach comes in and those guys get kicked to the curb. That's kind of how it feels like when some of these big name players are like, where did they go? It's like,
yeah.
So, Will, some breaking news has just kicked off from our friend at XFL News Hub. That the XFL is in a potential partnership with DraftKings.
Oh, that for fantasy, yeah. Is that for fantasy, correct?
It'll be for fantasy, yeah. It'll be for fantasy.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely going to be good. That's one thing they're going to have advantage over the AAF because they didn't have it.
Right. Isn't it true that Vince has like a ownership stake within one of those?
I thought
it's either ownership or he knows someone. Like I think I recall you. Either he knows someone or there's some type of agreement. So it's if you want to do fantasy, DraftKings is usually the best one to do. And
what's the other one, man? That's another that I know that's out there that's major. I can't think of it off the top.
What's it called? Oh my God, I know which one you're talking about. I can't think of it,
man. It's another one that goes along with DraftKings. They compete with DraftKings all the time.
Right. Yeah.
I can't remember the competitors. There's like so many.
Right. Yeah.
Now
exactly.
it is right. But it was like the two major ones. They was always competing all the time for it. I have to go back and check it out.
Right.
But XFL has a potential partnership with DraftKings, which would be huge.
And like I said before, the AF didn't have it, and like I mentioned to the last time I was on the show, listen to that No Extra Points documentary podcast because that tells about the guys that actually created it for the AF.
Right.
And one thing about that, the guy that made it actually was in contact with an AF guy on Reddit in order to correct the mistakes the league did on their stats, which is kind of interesting.
Right, yeah. It is interesting on how everything is playing out. And the big news that also came out this week is they announced after the showcases, they are announcing the names of the teams.
Right.
So everybody can finally stop going, when are they going to announce the teams? Because guess what? It will be happening at the end of July. Now, Will, have you heard anything about when, like a time frame? Because the only thing I'm seeing is like it's saying like in July they're going to announce the teams.
I know there was a rumor that Steven was looking at on XFL 2K Dunk, and he was checking that it could be actually the day of the St. Louis showcase, but I think it'll be sometime after and before the July Spring League showcase, to be quite honest.
You know what? And what's crazy as we step aside a bit, it's going to be a big day for One Universal Production on July 13th.
Well, and in the zone.
Yeah. But I understand I'm in the zone here, but for you guys, it's way bigger than you think.
Oh, we got another caller. California.
Caller, you're live.
Caller, you're live on XFL STL.
Hello?
Yeah, what's up, buddy?
Hey, how you doing? I was just calling in. I want to shed light on a player in the LA showcase named Jeremiah Spicer. I've seen his story.
Yeah.
I've seen his story on the Young Turks, and I know I've been following him for a while. And I just seen he had a pretty hard road, and it just seemed really inspiring. So just trying to call in and shed light on that player. I think he'll be a great player for the league, and just he's leading a lot of kids out there, and I just hope he gets drafted by one of the teams, even if it's not LA.
Right. Okay. So let me ask you a question then. So were you there at the showcase in LA?
Yes, I was there.
Okay. So kind of give us because here in St. Louis we're doing the last one. Is here in St. Louis. Kind of give us a feel of what we can expect at the showcase, like from a fan's perspective.
From a fan perspective, it seems like it's just a lot of mainly focused on combine drills. So the players aren't really doing too many position specific training. So it's a lot of combine drills and just one-on-one. You know what I mean? So a lot of cone drills, a lot of just seeing the movement and technique, and if the players are low, and transitioning and stuff like that.
Okay. Now, so you're in LA?
Yes, sir.
So then how did you find out about us? We're just kind of curious.
Actually, I've seen it on YouTube. I was following. I was following somebody on Facebook, and they shared it. And then I was just seeing you guys on YouTube, and they said it was you could accept callers and stuff like that. So,
well, cool.
Just thought I called in. And,
we appreciate it. Go to our YouTube page, XFL St. Louis or STL, whatever XFL STL. Like and subscribe.
Yes,
go to our Facebook page, XFL STL. Now you do realize because we're from St. Louis, you're from LA. You stole the Rams.
Don't start, man.
You know we're gonna beat you guys, right?
Tonight is not the night. Don't start that, man.
Hey, you know what? Like I said, I mean, I'm just trying to shed light on a player that really inspired me, and I know it's inspiring kids.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Man, if he doesn't play for LA, I hope he plays for somebody in XFL, and I think he can really make a big impact out there.
Right.
What's your name, man?
What's your name, man?
I'm sorry?
What is your name?
My name is Anthony, and I'm from Moreno Valley.
Oh, okay, cool.
Hey, man. Well, I appreciate you coming in on the show, man, shedding some light on Jeremiah Spicer. And you know, I've heard about the name because he's been on the Alliance XFL Twitter page. I mean, he's been blowing himself up.
Right.
And I have been blowing him up, too, because I heard about his story.
He's got a great story.
And so I wanted to make sure that they got it, and he did. He ended up getting there.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's through us or what, but I'm glad to hear
that he got a chance.
Out there. He got that chance. Mm-hmm. So, Anthony, I want to thank you for calling with us, man. And you always are welcome to call back at another time, man, okay?
Yeah, thanks, Anthony.
Oh, yeah, I appreciate you guys.
All right, have a good one.
All right.
So there you go.
Will, what you think about the Jeremiah Spicer story?
Go on, Will.
It's a story that I hope he does play in league, because he's gone through some trials in his life, and I'm hoping for the best for him, to be quite honest.
To be honest, no matter what team he goes to, he will probably be the one guy that I root for the most.
It probably be.
I mean, I could care less if he's on, because I'm saying LA because, they took the Rams, so who cares? Or I don't care. He will.
They also took the Chargers, but there's a lot of that. That's another story.
Right, exactly. But I mean, regardless of where he goes, where Jeremiah Spicer goes, he will probably be the guy that I most root for in the XFL.
And you know what? It's a shame that here we are. We talking about Jeremiah Spicer, a guy that I wished really got his head straight. Is Dorial Green Beckham.
Yes.
He just.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Everybody in Missouri is so distraught over this guy, man, because it's like he won't keep his head on straight. And it's like,
it's just such a waste of talent.
Somebody need to talk to him, man, because he was so good, but at the times he was very lazy.
Yes.
And I'm like, man, you were so good. Why you? It's like, who talked to him?
Yeah.
Like, who was his influences?
Right, exactly.
And I'm like, if he had some more positive influence, maybe he'd be playing ball now. Even might be possibly playing in XFL. We see him in the summer showcase.
Right. Well, you just heard from Anthony.
Exactly.
What he just said, how Jeremiah Spicer has inspired him because of his story and the stuff that he. And I'm serious, people. If you guys don't know who Jeremiah Spicer is, go look him up. I mean, the kid's got one hell of a story. I mean, the kid's been through 9 times of hell. Am I right?
Yeah.
Will, would you disagree?
Yeah, that's how I would probably describe it.
Right. I mean, it's a very inspiring to see that this kid's getting that second opportunity.
Exactly.
And I'm rooting for the kid.
Yep, I'm rooting for him too, man.
And if he comes to St. Louis,
I will be his
biggest cheerleader.
I'll have to get a jersey, man.
You know what? I'll probably even buy his jersey.
You guys know he actually liked our page, right?
Yes, he did. And I love it. So
Jeremiah, we love you, man.
Jeremiah,
thank you, man.
If you're listening right now, you see the phone number. Hit us direct messages. We'll give you a back line number to call in.
Yep.
We will give Jeremiah Spicer. We would love to get you on the air on the XFL STL show.
And he could tell us about your experience at the XFL Summer Showcase.
We would love to talk to you because we've been singing your praises, and I know Will has.
Yes. Yep.
And we've been singing your praises since we knew you were starting in the showcase.
Will, anything else you got to add before we let you go?
Just like I'm going to be Brian because I looked at the temperature to see if there's like anything more local. Well, not really like people living here, but more like the college deal. Because in Tampa, we finally got our first University of Illinois player, TJ Neal, a linebacker.
Saw that.
And then because normally they should get more north, the Division II powerhouse, Northwest Missouri State, we got a defensive player from there being at the Tampa Bay Showcase as well. What was that name?
Yeah, right.
It gets that way sometimes because you got to understand is that there's a lot of names that's being
out there. Oh, yeah, here we go, Brandon Dixon, and he actually he was on a few NFL rosters, and like that's like another small school guy making an impact. So hoping for that. Well, and just another thing before I go, the other quarterbacks at the showcase. The one that's of note from Albany, it's actually Vincent Testaverde Jr., Vinny Testaverde's son.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
That was one that, because we why do I always mispronounce that guy? The Philadelphia Eagles last name.
Papali, that's Arlington's band.
Man, that's my Vinny Papali, man. Yeah,
Mark Wahlberg's kid.
Yeah.
All right, Will. We'll talk to you next week.
Yes, sir.
And then we will definitely see you on the 13th, brother.
Yeah, that's already been planned.
All right, my man. That is Will Freeman, our correspondent
of the XFL
STL. STL. And, dang it, before I hung up with Will, I wanted to talk to him. Last week, they announced who the president of the XFL STL is.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we've got to talk to you
about that. Forgot. Will, call back in. We forgot to talk to you about that. Yeah. How do you say his last name? Kurt Hunzeker. Hunzinger. Yeah. Now, if a lot of what you guys don't realize about this guy is that there's Will. Will, you there?
Yeah, I got off and went back onto live, and then, hey, we need to call back. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, we forgot to talk to you about the hiring of the president.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was wondering, wait a minute, did we talk about that?
No, but he's St. Louis. He's a St. Louis native.
That's correct.
And he was the vice president of marketing and strategy and research for the minor league baseball.
Yeah.
And he's also a Mizzou guy.
And a Mizzou guy. So, what do you think he's going to bring to the table for XFL STL?
Well, one thing, he's from here, so he knows what's going on. I do have one of the things that interview he had with the St. Louis Business Journal. There was a quote that he made of a question. Hold on here.
See, this is why Will is part of the XFL STL Talk Show, because Will.
I make sure I try to get stuff. Okay, yeah, here it is. He was asked, with many people here now being anti-Stan Kroenke or anti-Rams, do you expect fans to rally around this team even more since they previously lost something that meant so much to them with the Rams? He answered, I think some will have that kind of revenge, for lack of a better term. Others, I think, is just the love of professional football. I think that the previous team was taken away from them. And that was a narrative you read a million times over, especially on social media and whatnot. They weren't born and raised in St. Louis, and I'm personally kind of hammering that home. This is now St. Louis's team. And so he knows what this area feels after that, and he wants to be a part of building pretty much the first homegrown modern football team here in St. Louis.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's correct.
And I think it's a smart hire.
Yes.
It's a guy from St. Louis with St. Louis ties. I mean, he worked at Rawlins here in St. Louis for 5 years.
Yeah, and he was a professor at Maryville. So,
yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah, so it's good to have somebody with St. Louis ties. So
and not to mention being in charge of marketing for the whole minor league system. That
right,
yeah,
exactly.
And he's gonna have on these
to do 130 teams. I would probably have trouble trying to figure out one.
Right.
Hey, that's like when you play MLB The Show and you taking care of all the teams in the minor league.
Right. Exactly.
And that's a lot of teams, man. It is. A lot of teams.
So Will, since we have you back, I do want to talk to you. So you posted the LA stuff, and one of the big names I see is Fred Davis, the tight end from USC.
Mm-hmm.
He was there. The kid from South Dakota State, how do you say his name? Tyron Christensen.
Mm-hmm.
He was there. I mean, these are a lot of players that should have been picked up by the NFL and weren't. And then here's the kid you were talking about from Illinois State, Marshawn, Coprich.
Oh, corporate, yeah.
The kid from Illinois State.
Yeah.
Now he was there at the
and that was in LA.
The LA one.
Now, we mentioned names, Will, like we mentioned. I think he was on the line when we mentioned Austin. Would you mention Austin Davis and all those names from St. Louis?
Yeah.
Would you think they would actually? Would you want to see one of them as the quarterback in St. Louis, or would you be okay with that?
Austin Davis and who else?
There was Chris Givens that was named, that was thrown out. Zach Stacy, of course. The Damian Washington.
Oh, yeah, I think I remember that comment. He was also mentioning Tim Barnes, the center.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
like, if they're able to, I have no problem with them. As long as they can play, I have no problem with them.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I mean, Chris Gitt, like, he was fast, though, didn't he? If I remember, he either had problem running routes or catching the ball. I'm trying to remember that, if I remember that correctly.
He was fast as hell, man. But I mean, when he had open field, he was getting them.
He said Brian Quick.
Yeah, Brian Quick was the one that I had an issue with.
Right, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was the guy that Les Snead said he was thinking Vincent Jackson. Yeah, no.
Right, yeah.
And you should have got Vincent Jackson.
Right, exactly.
You know, no, actually, that year, they should have got Alshon Jeffrey, who wasn't drafted till, like, the end of the second round, that same draft.
That's true. That's true. And they should have drafted Ndamukong Suh, and they could have drafted Colt McCoy in the second round.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
there you go with that quarterback stuff.
Might have been good. You know, here's somebody I didn't notice. The Army's Joshua Jenkins, the kid that was like the first real Army player that actually made a name for himself coming out of Army, was at
the showcase?
At the showcase.
You know, him and, who was that for Navy? Keenan Reynolds? Was that
Yes. I'm trying to see if he's on here. I don't.
Not like when we talked back a few months ago.
They will be using this type of fast-paced system of how Army and Navy play.
Yeah, exactly.
And I got a question for you, Will, before you go. What do you think of the 25-second shot clock that they're 25-second clock they're proposing for the?
I'm fine with that, though. I'm trying to figure out like how quick it is, because I know that they're going to be trying to put maybe all the headsets and all the players' helmets on both sides so it can be quicker. I've heard that mentioned. Like, I'm fine with 25 to 30. So
I would say 30 would be best.
30 would be good. But you know, when you play Madden,
you do the accelerated clock.
Accelerated clock, and it goes to 25 anyways.
But my thing is, though, still, I want it 30 because I want to make sure it doesn't be sloppy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's true.
Well, that's why we have that July showcase later this month.
Exactly.
Hell, Devin Fuller was on here.
Yeah.
Jesus, Chuck Jacobs.
See, hey,
DeQuan Hampton.
Hey man, you got good players coming out here, man.
Yeah.
And they all want shots at it because look, like you said, 150 players was down in Tampa.
Yeah.
See.
Wow.
Well, Florida's very talented, has a very big talent when it comes to college recruits. So.
Yeah,
I'm surprised Dallas and Houston didn't have that many. You know what I mean? Because, you know, Texas has always been a big football state.
I mean, these were a lot of guys at big schools that made impacts and had big games, and they weren't drafted.
It happens to be that way sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Will, appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for hopping back on, man. Huh?
We're almost at 10:30.
Yeah, that's kind of where we were.
I know. All right, Will. We'll talk to you next week, brother.
No problem.
All right, bye.
Yes.
So thanks to Will Freeman.
Yeah, he does an amazing job.
He does a great job here for us. Yeah. Great job.
I didn't know. Have you been on the page, man?
Oh yeah. He's
impact
posting left and right. And you know what? Again, thank you to everybody on our page that has went and liked it and follow it. We're over almost 500 followers.
Yeah.
We're almost at 450 likes. If you guys like what we're doing, yeah, it does look goofy sometimes, and we're always trying to work bugs out and stuff like that.
Is that Kylie? Is it
yeah, that's her. That's Unicorn Pearls.
Kylie.
That's Kylie. Hey, you guys, listen. Seriously, go to Unicorn Pearls with Kylie. Donate to her page. We're raising money for one of our biggest fans, Wyatt, with KFS. Go to her page. Go buy a pearl.
I did her so dirty.
Yeah, there you go.
I did her so dirty, man.
Yeah, there you go. There's her card right there from Arlington. Go to her page. Make sure you go to OneNationNetworkTV.com. Go buy our wonderful, lovely business partner who sometimes wants to kill Dirty because Dirty's an idiot. The great Linda.
Put that in there.
Yeah, my radio wife.
The unicorn horn back on.
Oh yeah, no, we're okay, Kylie.
Exactly.
We're okay. You know, go to One Nation Network TV. You want some really good books. You want to learn how to invest in stocks. Hey, Anthony, you're out there in California. Yeah. You want to learn how to invest in pot stocks? Go, Linda. What's that book called?
Beginner's Guide to Investing in Canadian and U.S. Pot Stocks. It's a page turner. It's really great.
Yeah.
Step-by-step guide. You got to get one.
That's right. And you can get that on One Universal Network. Or
OneNationNetworkTV.com.
There you go.
That's right. Under
Arlington.
products.
Also, folks,
If you're here in St. Louis.
Hey, when we had XFL, when XFL come, if you're fans of the XFL STL and you come down for a game, we taking you to Joni's Pizza.
That's right.
That's right. We're going to take you to Joni's Pizza, right? You can go to 804 Russell Boulevard. Call them at 314-865-5800. Joni's to go, baby.
You know, Arlington, you know what else is really good?
What is really
So,
good?
look, I mean, you see how my tan?
Yeah, see how you
I was
tan,
at the
man.
lake.
Yeah, that's right.
You know me, if I'm out at the lake, I'm barbecuing, right?
Right, you are. How'd you do it?
I did it with grocerybags.com with a Z. I grilled up some pork steaks,
Yeah.
grilled up some burgers, and rubbed my rub on there. Linda, who absolutely loves it.
It is so great.
You want some really good rubs? It's all natural, right, Linda? All natural
Absolutely.
ingredients. You go to grocerybags.com with a Z.
As the 4th of July is coming up on a couple days, you know you're going to be out there grilling. If you ain't grilling now,
Right.
Grocery Bags with a Z.
And I think if you mention
Omaha Steaks. Right. They're affiliated with the Omaha Steaks, so you want to look into that too. But I tell you, that some of that seasoning sauce and that
stuff's dangerous.
That fuego. They have a hot pepper fuego that I just absolutely love.
It's dangerous.
It smells like
Some of this, some of that.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. My legs smell like the oysters. And you want Arlington? Where else can we go to find the XFL STL app?
Man, you could go to Alliance to XFL on Facebook and on Twitter. You can check that out right now. You can always catch the playback after we are done with this show here tonight.
And what other place? You forgetting one? You're wearing it, Arlington.
AmazonNetwork.com. Man, I'm wearing it on my shirt.
There
man.
you go.
You know, when you get so into it, man, you forget what's going on around.
I know, right?
You got the hat on and the shirt.
In the zone.
Do you know I'm going to get killed by my business partner for telling me why you didn't mention anything about the network?
That's why I said this is a joint production of One Universal Production and the In the Zone Network.
Hey, one before we go, big day for you, man. I know we talk about it with us, but
what do you mean a big day?
You know it's a big day, man.
Why is it a big day?
Because July 13th, man, you got the showcase, and then you got MMWA.
We're not talking about 13th.
That. Hey, but it's part of that, though. But it's all part of the deal.
Yeah,
man.
July 13th.
Somebody's getting chopped.
July 13th, 30 is going to get chopped.
Somebody's getting chopped, and Wyatt is letting us know.
Wyatt is letting us know. So if you guys want to watch that, go to MMWA on just Google to Facebook, MMWA Wrestling on Facebook. You can watch it live there, or you can watch it live on One Universal.
Is Wyatt going to chop you?
Probably. No, Wyatt can't chop me. You know why? Because Wyatt is part of the broadcast team.
Oh, man. Oh, okay, cool.
So Wyatt is, he is a broadcast member of the MMWA.
Hey, Wyatt, I'd chop him anyway.
Shut up, Arlington. Shut up.
The unprofessional professional right up there above me is Dirty. I am the A-Train, Arlington Lane. We want to thank you for joining us for a wild edition of the XFL STL special edition tonight. Right. And definitely have to thank Linda B for chiming in as well.
They actually put up with me making some comments. Hey guys,
I love it when you come on, especially with someone we can hand to you. You know
right? Yeah, exactly. Right? Especially if it comes to Cap.
Hey, if he does come, Belinda will be in the shirt.
Please.
Oh, you know she will.
If he were to say he was going to jump in the XFL, she would be right there, front and center.
There. Right. Absolutely.
Hey, if you guys want one of our shirts,
right?
The One Universal Production shirts,
doesn't that look great?
Send us an email.
Message us on Facebook.
Yeah,
on our Facebook. One Universal Production, or One Nation Network TV, or the MMWA show.
MMWA,
we're talking up on all of us.
Right, we're talking $20 a shirt. If you guys want one, send us there.
Hey, we got In the Zone Network hats coming, and then we of course got these shirts where you can go to In the Zone Network. You can find it at teespring.com. You can go check that out right now. Exactly. Get you a shirt. Hey, you don't even got to get a shirt. You can get a hoodie. You can get some leggings, ladies. I know y'all like it. I know you do. We got mugs. We got tote bags.
Yeah, that's right.
Come on. Hey, what about the phones? We even got accessories for your phone.
On Teespring? Wow.
Teespring, baby.
Hey, you know what we need to do before we go? Yeah. We need to reach out to Jeremiah Spicer.
That's correct.
And get him on the show.
Yes, Wyatt, Casey. You can only get away with that.
It is the only one that can get away with Casey. Right. Hey, again, we thank all of you guys for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it. thank you for joining us on this special Tuesday night. We will see you guys next Monday on YouTube at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Right after the DCS show.
Right after the DCS show. We will see you guys next week.
And have a great 4th of July holiday.
Exactly.